Luka really feels like he's gone the opposite direction, and he's played his way into the MVP conversation as a result.
It was all Luka, who had 24 in the first half.
Tell you what, man, he's been on fire lately.
If I'm taking one player now for the future, it's Luka Doncic. I think he's the best player in the NBA.
Earlier into the season, we could tell Doncic just didn't have it, man. The start of the season, he was averaging pretty good numbers, but for his standards, he could have been doing way better. And I think we all know what the cause of this was.
The important thing is, though, is the conditioning.
Late in the first half, I yelled to my wife, Ernestine, you got to come in here and look at this. Look at Luka's face.
I think we've seen this movie before with certain players. They come into training camp out of shape. But Luka Doncic, I mean, don't forget, he came into that season having played in the Olympics, reaching all the way to the semifinals. But it was clear regardless that Doncic needed to change things up if he wanted to excel.
And after Friday's loss to the Pelicans, Jason Kidd said Doncic needs to stop lobbying the officials for calls as much as he does.
I think he was humbled a little bit. I think, he didn't like being called out for his weight and other things. And it finally clicked that, there's a level of discipline that's required.
He got called out not just by the media, not just by folks like Reggie Miller during the broadcast on TNT, but you also had Mark Cuban, you had Jason Kidd calling him out for different reasons. Doncic, man, credit to him. This is when things began to shape up for him. He owned up to it all.
People can talk about it, yes or no, but I know I got to do better. I had a long summer. I think I relaxed a little bit, not taking care, but, I got to be better.
I've noticed that a lot of people that have certain prejudices, have certain negative perceptions of certain players, they hide it up until that player performs poorly. And when Doncic performed poorly, man, all of it came out.
I think when you look at his body, you're like, he's a little pudgy. He's a kid.
He's got a fat face.
Yes.
Is that not a fat face?
Yes.
He's just fat. He's got big old jowls.
Yes.
He's got puffy chipmunk cheeks, right?
Yes.
Now, thankfully, those criticisms of Doncic are now long gone. I mean, people aren't calling him a fat kid anymore. Now people are looking at how the Mavericks were able to come back down 21 against the Warriors and see that it wasn't just Doncic that was playing good, but the entire team as well.
Up by 3, minute and a half to go, and then Dinwiddie. What a pickup for them.
Just a little tidbit. I know this will make the Warriors fans here feel very, very sad, but this was the first time they've ever lost a regulation game when up by over 20 points since before Curry was even drafted.
It should be the whole team doing an interview, man. It's just unbelievable team win, I was struggling, I started bad, everything, and they helped me up, without them, without this team, we would lose by 40 probably.
This is the perfect role for him, right? I mean, he doesn't, you call him a point guard, but he's really more of a scoring guard, and playing next to Luka, where you don't have to facilitate everything, he can just score.
On nights where Doncic struggles to score, it's nice to see that he has guys like Dinwiddie to back him up on the scoring block. And you have, obviously, Dinwiddie coming in from the Porzingis trade, who has been an excellent player off the bench. I mean, this is going to be an interesting team to watch. I mean, they're good on both sides of the ball, one of the best defensive teams in the league. And with Jason Kidd coaching this team, they've been surprisingly good on both ends. And Doncic, man, again, Warriors fans, I'm sorry, but he recently passed Curry on the NBA MVP ladder. At this point, man, it's pretty obvious that he should be in the conversation for MVP, not just a dark horse that everyone likes to talk about. No, look at his shooting splits, 40% from deep, 30 points a game over the last 10 games with 10 rebounds, almost 8 assists a game, almost 1 steal and 1 blocks a game. Come on, man. This guy is feasting out there. And just look at where they rank him in the MVP list. Number 6, past guys like Stephen Curry and Devin Booker. He was ranked 8th the week before. Look, I'll argue that he should be ranked higher. And that's simply due to the fact that some of the guys ranked above him haven't been putting up the same numbers that Doncic has been putting up all season. And especially not in February, where, I mean, I showed you the last 10 games. I mean, the whole month was pretty much the same. This guy went off and had 51 points one game. He had 41 points another game. He had multiple 30-point games. And it's somehow a debate between guys like him and Ja.
You old enough to remember certain debates like Michael Jackson or Prince.
The fact is that he is in the same place as Ja Morant. Neither one of them has won a playoff series.
How about Jay-Z or Nas? You remember those debates?
Yes.
How about Luka or Ja? Because that's what we're about to be saying.
And despite the 46-point game Ja had and the 52-point game he had right after, he didn't win Player of the Month in February. You know who did though? Luka Doncic. That's right, man. He beat out Ja Morant for the NBA's Western Conference Player of the Month. And at this point, it almost feels like if a player averages near a triple-double, it's somehow a slight to him hogging the ball or something. Because ever since Westbrook averaged triple-doubles upon triple-doubles every year, it just seems like people have taken it for granted that guys can do that now.
Because the one thing that I've seen with Luka year after year after year to this point is that he breaks down physically, particularly once we get to the postseason.
What? Where is this coming from? He nearly averaged a 30-point triple-double in both playoff series, and somehow this guy says he's breaking down physically by then? Like, come on, man. This guy is full of it, man. He played alongside Porzingis, who averaged 13 points a game during last year's playoff series against the Clippers, okay? If he had more help, they would win those series. Now, I'm pretty sure this season, things could be different.
I think we're going to get better at understanding, as a team, when to talk to the officials and when not to. Not just Luka.
He knows what he needs to do, and it finally clicked that if he's going to be the best, and I know he wants to be the best, that there's certain things he has to control, and once he got a handle on those things, it's just been Katie bar the door. He's just been unstoppable.
And lately, man, we've been seeing a better Mavericks team. We've been seeing Doncic playing at a very high level, over 30 points a game again in February. If you want my opinion on this, Doncic is at least 4th in MVP voting. I think he's above guys like DeRozan and Morant. It's just, I'm not sure where he's at with guys like Giannis and Embiid and Jokic. But one thing's for sure, he's turning heads already.
I think Luka can be the next guy up. I like what Ja is doing. I love Trae Young. But Luka, everyone knows he's just different with his command of the game. Mm-hmm. You're going to play Luka Doncic's version of basketball, not the, anyone else's.
Luka too.
And he's in shape.
At a time when a lot of NBA players, if they are questioned or criticized, tend to shut down and get defensive, Luka really feels like he's gone the opposite direction, and he's played his way into the MVP conversation as a result.
He's huge, and he can't be sped up. Whether you put a Patrick Beverley on him or a Kawhi Leonard, he does what he wants. He gets where he wants. He holds him off in the pick and roll.
Are we about to see the best version of Luka Doncic yet down the home stretch of the season? Perk, I want to start with you.
Absolutely.
He's one of only 3 players to be in the top 20 in points per game, assists per game, and rebounds per game since January 1st. These are eerily similar to his playoff numbers, a near triple-double, averaging 30 points a game. And if you want to talk about, well, Durant and DeRozan, their teams are better. Well, look at the records, okay? Okay, yes, Memphis, they're 4.5 games ahead. But Chicago, they basically have the same record.
On the assist from Doncic, who darn near had another triple-double. He had 41, 10, and 9.
Oh, my goodness.
Are you ready to be even more freaked out, guys? This guy is working on a new offensive weapon. I'm not making this up, guys. Apparently, Doncic is not just trying to do his patented step back leaning to the left. No. He's going to try to do a step back to his right. Now, you may think this is trivial stuff, but he's serious about this. He thinks this is going to be a very important key to him improving. He says, I think that is going to be really important for me, and I've been working on it. You see it a couple times. Obviously, it is not as good as the left, but keep working, and I think that is going to be a big improvement for me. And you know what? With the way Doncic has been playing throughout his career already, I mean, it's pretty comparable to a guy like LeBron James, okay? At his age, the things he's been doing, honestly, it trumps the things LeBron has been doing early in his career. And obviously, you could say it's due to the era, the spacing, just things getting easier for players on offense. But man, you cannot deny there's a similarity between these two. Just how dominant they are with the ball, just how good they are all around. And Doncic, he's been picking up his defense lately. And oh my goodness, man, we've seen LeBron James score 56 points at age 47. I don't know if Doncic could do something like that, but only time will tell at this point, man. He certainly has a good chance of accomplishing the things LeBron has in his career. Now, LeBron James, things are still ugly for him and his Lakers. The season hopes are pretty dire. Look, I talk about it in this video, man, if you want to know more. I think LeBron James, man, he outdid himself on Saturday, but there's still more for him to do if this team wants to make the playoffs.